how it's supposed to feel.
Hi there, and welcome to another test. I hope you guys are doing well. Apologies for the lack of videos for this year. This year has been a really tough and rough year for us, so we had to focus on some other things. But I thought I'll start making some new videos and focus on making more quality content from next year onwards. So for this test today, we are going to test Trend Micro Maximum Security versus ESET Smart Security Premium. Now we can have a look at Trend Micro's settings just quickly. Now we're going to do maximum security in this test. So pretty much everything is enabled. We also set it to hypersensitive. Um, Web protection is also set to high. Block dangerous notifications. Spam and email. We're not going to test emails in this test. We'll test emails again later. Um, on the other settings, we have extra security, network security. Um, you guys can just have a quick glance at the settings. Feel free to pause the video if I'm going through the settings too quickly, but just to reduce playback time. Now, these are all the settings for Trend Micro. Now, ESET obviously has a lot more to tinker with. So it is going to take a little bit longer. So on ESET, everything is set to aggressive. We are scanning SSL and TLS traffic. Real-time protection, everything is pretty much enabled. There's no exclusions. Threat sense, so smart optimization has been disabled. So we're going to do full scanning. Always remedy the detection. And also for the ones that have the option for exclusion, I'm not going to go into each and every one of them just to save some time. If there is an exclusion, I'll show it to you guys. So HIPS is set to smart. Self-defense is enabled. Deep behavioral inspection and ransomware shield is enabled. Cloud-based protection is set to also high as we've got our all detected samples to be submitted. We've got live guard, kill running process, clean and block the verdict for 10 minutes. Network protection here is pretty much on default. We didn't make any changes to network protection, so no custom rules, no nothing. These are just straight out of the box. Email client protection, it's there, but we're not testing it. And in this test, URL management, HTTP traffic, browser protection, and script scanner, and document protection. Not going to look at device control. That's about it. Under scans, we have AMC integration, we have network traffic scanner, device scan. Obviously, after the malware test, we are going to do a in-depth scan. And in-depth is set also to be aggressive. Threat sense is to basically scan everything and disable scan optimization. So the scans do run longer, but they do scan every single file. Smart scan helps to optimize scan, but not scanning every single little file. Okay, and that's pretty much that. And then user interface, and that with all in all, I'm going to quickly disable the protection, get the nasties extracted so that we can start the test. Okay, so we've got all the nasties extracted. So just have a quick look at the VMs. You guys will see that according to PE, there's obviously no malicious process running, just to show that the VMs are clean before we start the test. Okay, so that's for ESET. Now for our samples, we are going to do 725 on each side. And samples obviously are a variation of zip files that we need to extract, some MSIs, some batch and VBs and Java, some PowerShells and Office documents. But the vast majority seems to be applications. So we've got that on each side. Now let's quickly just get the protection up to date to make sure everything is fully up to date. Okay, so ESET is doing a update. So once the updates are done, I think we are going to start first with the website test. This will obviously test some phishing links, and some fake websites and things like this. So we'll test the web security first. Okay, ESET is fully up to date. Okay, just had to pause the video quickly there, had to wait for Trend Micro to update. So as you guys can see, it is up to date. Let's quickly get the protection going again. Okay, after the protection is enabled, we might start seeing some notifications of threads being removed. That will be normal as real-time protection would start to scan the machines, as you see, as ESET is scanning. Okay, so let's quickly start with the website test. So this opens up all the tabs for me, so I don't have to do them all one by one. We are going to use Edge as our default browser. We'll use the extensions for each. As you can see, we are using Trend Micro's plugin, and we will use ESET plugin as well. Now, some of these sites do also download malicious files like zips and exes, and we'll see if Trend Micro is actually detecting any of these files that are trying to download. While we wait for ESET, we'll quickly open up our downloads folders. Okay, so seems like we've got 3 files that actually did download here. This is a new NPE that I downloaded. Forgot to delete that. Okay, so let's see if anything downloads. Okay, let's quickly go through. Looks like some of the pages did actually open up here. Seems like more of the pages open up on Trend Micro than it actually did on ESET, which is quite odd. They have the exact same websites that they need to open. Okay, so we have some blog pages here for Trend. But we do have a couple of sites that seems to have actually opened here on Trend Micro. On ESET, seems like the vast majority of the sites were actually blocked. I'm just not sure why it's less than Trend Micro. Okay, so it doesn't seem like anything downloaded. It looks like Trend did remove those threads just a little bit reactively, but nothing downloaded. But according to what I can see from what actually opened up, it does seem that because as you can see, it's the same type of sites that do actually open up these Grokili, whatever. I'm not even trying to pronounce it, but you guys can see they are opening up the same type of websites. So I'll give a win to ESET on this one, although Trent Micro did a good job in protecting from the downloaded stuff. Now we are going to do the main cuisine, which is the malware execution. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to move this to the right. Okay, so let's see what happens. Let's see if anything explodes. And yeah, at the bottom, we can have a look at the CPU usage, memory, and disk. We do have network activity, but that's going to be the least important for now. So we can see ESET is using a lot more disk, but Trend Micro seems a little bit more heavy on CPU, but it does look like ESET is using a bit more resources. Okay, so something tried to open up control panel here. We'll just close that. Okay, so it seems like our VMs are not doing too bad. ESET says file could not be cleaned. Looks like a link, so that's a shortcut. Okay, let's have a look at our resources again. ESET is using definitely a lot more disk, but it seems like Trend Micro might be a little bit more on the CPU side. ESET is using much less CPU. So Trend Micro is definitely more CPU intense and ESET is more disk intense. Okay, so that's quite interesting to see. Different approach on how the AV uses resources to deal with threats. Okay, let's extract this on the ESET VM. Let's see what happens. And that's Vivaldi, so could be a compromised Vivaldi or just could be a PUP maybe. Okay, as you guys can see, they're all actively dealing with threats according to PE. I don't see anything regarding virus total scores if something is malicious that is running on the ESET. It seems like we have this one with a very low score. Now we've got this one that's got a 32 out of 77 AV ratings. So we'll see if ESET deals with that threat. It seems like it is this one. Um, yeah, it seems like the threat was dealt with, so only for a short time in memory. Could be that ESET is just a little bit overwhelmed, but just as long as they deal with the threats, that's all that matters. Okay, so it seems like we have. Okay, so it seems like the malware test on Trend Micro is um, ended. It could be that Trent actually interfered with the script. So I'll rerun the script. I'll deal with this in the backend, but I just want to give you guys a quick glimpse of what is happening in the malware testing. So it seems like they both are doing not too bad, but the test is far from done. So I have my cup of coffee. I'm going to deal with these threats as soon as the test is done, or if something interesting has happened in the test, I'll point it out to you guys, but I'm going to deal with this and I'll show you guys the final end results. Okie dokie, guys, the test is done. Let's quickly have a look at Trend Micro. We'll just close this. We do have quite a number of error messages. Okay, so as we can see, there was a thread now that I did close. A couple of them are closing, so this is what we have in memory. So, and this is what we have for ESET on the right. Let's just quickly close all of this. Okay, so everything's now closed. Let's quickly see if, so this is the only stuff that we still have running in memory. Now let's quickly have a look at our startup items. Okay, so it seems like we've got a startup item here, it might be broken. We have this one from Auto IT. Okay, so we have a couple of batch files running there. We can maybe check in virus total if they're malicious or not. And we've got this one here. Okay, then we've got this go to resolve. Okay, let's quickly open up virus total. We'll do the same for ESET. Okay, while we wait for virus total, we'll just close that. Okay, seems like it's not launching on Trend Micro. Okay, that's fine. We'll wait for that. But yeah, as you guys can see, we have a couple of startup items here. Like, yo, yes, here we got quite a number, quite a number, but I can't seem to open them. So there's a lot of task schedulers here, which is quite a number. Can't seem to right click on them. Okay, so I think I might need to restart this VM. So that's that for Trend Micro. Let's quickly have a look at our other files. Let's see if we've got any ransomware issues. The Trend Micro VM is getting really slow. While we wait for Trend Micro, you guys will see in the sample list we only have 110 samples left. But not all of them are actually malware. Some of them are my scripts, like 1, 2, 3. So then 107 samples are left. The Trend Micro VM is definitely locking up now. It's getting extremely slow. Let's just see if I can get some of the stuff closed. Okay, yeah, there's definitely something weird happening on this Trend Micro VM. Okay, I can't click on a lot of the things. It's not allowing me to, so it's definitely acting up. Okay, I'm going to move over to the ESET VM. As you guys can see, only this one thread is currently running here. We'll see what Virus Turtle has to say about it. And as you guys can see, the notifications are getting quite high. And there's definitely one of these threads is obviously now querying web traffic. So ESET is just keep blocking this traffic. I think that's maybe why the internet is a tad slow. We'll focus on that a bit later. Okay, let's quickly have a look at our startup items. Judging by the startup items, it looks all normal items. Maybe this Acrobat. Oh no, this is a legitimate Acrobat, I think. But yeah, startup items seems good to me. Let's quickly have a look, see if we've got any stuff in downloads. Nope, nothing downloads. Document seems good. And our pictures are all intact. Let's see what programs have installed. Yeah, as you guys can see, I'm trying to open the run command on the Trend Micro machine here in the left hand corner, and it's all buggy. So Trend is freezing up a bit. Okay, so we've got this aimbot and then bit comment that installed, and then this program here. So we've got about 3 or so. Yeah, then we've got progress as well. So we've got about 4 programs that installed. And yeah, the trend VM is definitely not healthy, as you guys can see. It's acting up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to restart these VMs, get them all updated, do full scans, and then we'll look at the results. I'll quickly try and get this Trend VM running, but as you guys can see, it's just not really responsive, so I might need to do a full shutdown on it. And then once the scans are done, we'll look at the results. Okay, guys, the full scans are done. So let's see what we have. Trend Micro wants to restart to remove a thread. But yeah, as you guys can see, a couple of threads have been removed here. Program files. but not as many, not resolved yet. So this is the one that wants to restart and resolve. That is on the Windows NT. Okay, so we'll do a restart. Let's quickly have a look at. Okay, let's have a look at our startup items. Okay, so it seems like we still have quite a number of weird startup items. Let's say if we do file location, let's see what we've got. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can open the website now. Seems like we might have an internet issue, or maybe the SVC host file has been changed. Okay, so as you can see, VirusTotal is opening up on ESET. The VM is showing it has internet connection, so we might have a buggy host file, but we'll check that later. Not going to worry about that for now. But yeah, that's something that you can investigate. Obviously, if this is a machine of yours, is to see if there's something wrong with the host file, maybe. Some DNS might have been changed. Okay, so then we've got all these. That looks like that's from Trend Micro. Could be that. Yeah, sorry, that's the watchdog. I don't actually look at it properly. So yeah, so we've got a couple of noise here, as I would say. On ESET, let's look at our startup items. No funny, weird startup items. Let's see how many of them our samples are actually left. Okay, so on this one, we still have 259 minus the 3 of the scripts that I have. So that's 256. And then on ESET, we only have 41 minus 3 is then 28. Sorry, 38. Let me just look at. Oh, yeah. So I think that's that. Couple of zips, but on Trent, it does seem like we still have quite a number of threads here that it did not remove in the scan. On ESET, we removed 86 threads. Seems the vast majority. Oh, I forgot there was a filter applied. So it seems like the vast majority is just normal malware. Okay, but yeah, so 86 threads have been resolved. Okay, I actually want to see the programs on Trend. Okay, so on Trend, we have this AmiBot, we've got this Bitcoin, we've got this BPSR, we've got LogMeIn, apparently PowerShell, and the same program that also on ESET, we've got AmiBot of aimbot. But yeah, looks like a little bit more on Trend did install. Yeah, so I would say that's that. I'm gonna restart Trend through this to help it remove the thread. Then we'll update the third-party opinion scans and wrap the test up. Okay, now we are at the final stage of the test. Let's quickly see what our results are. On Hitman Pro for Trend Micro, we have 45 issues here. So it seems this go to resolve, a couple of stuff in app data, and then a couple of samples on the desktop. But it seems the vast majority of the issues are in other locations. And as I suspected previously when I said there might be something wrong with the host file, it seems that is. Once I edited or opened the host file, I noticed all these additional DNS entries. So all these type of sites won't resolve, hence why they are failing. So I think one of the malwares made this modification to try and stop you from preventing to search for any security type of products to help clean and scan the machine and possibly interfere with any existing AV to maybe do updates or things like this. But because you can see all the entries are related to a security type of vendor, ESET, Norton, Sophos, Dr. Web. So this is why we weren't able to reach virus total. As you can see, that's the first entry. So definitely modification on the host file. And I think Heatman Pro also showed that there was a suspicious host file, which I just closed now, but you can definitely see there's modifications to the host file. On ESET with Heatman Pro, it seems like we have a exe in temp, more temps, and then one on the desktop as our samples. So the ones in temp is obviously you don't want them there, but they're not as bad as malware outside of these normal locations. They should be benign in the temp folder. Now, if we look at MSI we have 368 versus 21. So the 368, it seems, let's just arrange them by location. So it seems like a lot of app data local, app data roaming, and so on. The Trend Micro VM is still a little bit slow, so just going to close those results. But you can see with ESET, a couple of files in the recycle bin, app data, temp. So these are more temporary files where malware obviously extracted, could be from the zips and things like this. So let's just close that out as well. Okay, so now we're going to have a look at NPE results. NPE say we got 16 versus ESET 20. On TrendMicro, we've got two high severities. For ESET, they are all just medium. Seems like we've got this in start menu and then this volcano.exe and then a couple of files. So it seems like local files and things like that. On ESET, seems like also the vast majority is just temporary files. And then these, or then this bad comment that was detected. Okay, now for our final results with Malwarebytes. So we've got 63 versus 5 on 60 on the Trend Micro with our 63 results. So we've got program data, app data, local temp. Then we've got a couple of samples on the desktop. And then seems like we've got some driver issues. There's the host file. So the host file has been hijacked. Definitely, it's definitely been hijacked. So we can confirm that. We did manually inspect that. Then we've got a couple of persistent threads with scheduled tasks and obviously some registry key modifications, some backdoors, etc. On the ESET one, seems like we've got that same REMCOS, REMCOS as well. Out on the desktop, and it seems we've got that REMCOS backdoor and REMCOS, so it seems like everything is related to REMCOS. Okay, now Process Explorer is unable to open on Trend Micro, so we can't look at that. Let's have a quick look at our startup items again. So we do have a couple of funny startup items. And then all these SCH tasks. So quite a number of startup items that we obviously do not want to see anything like that. We're going to have a look at our VT results. So if we look at the VTs and even the host process names, I can't see any process that looks out of the ordinary, but obviously you never know. Any process can be hijacked and be masked, but I don't think there are any weird processes running on the ESET host. We're going to close that. So this was the scan results or the final results of that thread that Trend Micro removed after we rebooted. Okay, let's see what's in our program files. So we still got this aimbot log me in, so that can be used as a rat. We've got this funny PowerShell from GitHub. Okay, so I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 programs. Okay, so on the ESET machine, let's just quickly look at the programs before we go to the startup items. So you've got 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So a little bit less than Trend Micro. For ESET on the startup items, I don't really see anything weird off the bat. Everything, these are all normal startup items. I did also check ESET's host file. It's not been tampered with. You can close that. So I think that is the end of this test. So let's quickly do a recap. So on Trend Micro, the web results were fairly good. On the ESET side, it did definitely do a little bit better. It seems they both block all those downloaded files, but ESET did stop a lot more of the other sites not to even open, where Trend Micro did miss a couple of them. So on the website, ESET did better for me there. In the malware execution, I think ESET is also the clear winner here. Trend Micro unfortunately suffered a SV host file or SVC host file modification. You can fix that, but it just showed you that malware was able to get a foothold into the system. We do obviously have via the third-party scans, we see a lot of registry keys being added, scheduled tasks. So there's a lot of persistent threats. You can most probably clean this machine up by using almost every third-party scanner tool under the sun, but there's a good chance that something might still be lingering in the system that none of these security vendors can detect. So if any third-party scanner says the machine is clean, it's not a guarantee that it is so. It's just a very good indication with what you are dealing with. On the ESET side, ESET did a good job for me here. We've got some minor issues. Seems like all the registry keys are related to that memcached, so there's a good chance you can just uninstall that program or just find those keys and delete them. All the other third-party scanners shows very little to none issues with the startup items. Can't find any weird startup items, but yeah, obviously you can do a little bit of a more in-depth investigation, but just of a glance by using third-party scans, looking at any type of traces of malware where they normally do reside, can't find any, and all those little temp files, you can just clean them up. So I think ESET did really well. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about the test. I'll be making some more tests this year as I can, but I will be focusing on making more consistent tests for next year, but I'll release a couple of videos for this year as well. I'll put the results at the end of the video so you can look at them. But yeah, thanks again guys for watching. I do hope to see you guys in the next video. For everyone that's new, please like, hit and subscribe. It will help the channel a lot, and I do appreciate all the views. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.